The village of Pemberton rallies hundreds to raise a downtown barn, and we are part of the action. We'll introduce you to an artist whose work has gone off the wall and dancers where you least expect them. We've got arts, food, and culture. It's all local, and it's all on this episode of Go Sea to Sky. Welcome to Go Sea to Sky, only on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Heather Butts, in the heart of Pemberton. It's been years in the making, and the structure is finally going up. Hundreds have rallied here for a traditional barn raising, and we'll have the full story coming up. But first, we're going to introduce you to a Whistler artist. Heidi Dennison wanted to make her work accessible to all, and now you'll see people sporting it all over the world. Her beautiful paintings have been transformed into magnificent wearable accessories.
Painting for me is definitely like a meditation. There's really nothing else that does that for me.
Entranced by her brush connecting with her unique wooden panel, Heidi Dennison is absorbed in her painting, turning one form of art into another.
It's based on my photography, but then there's definitely a painterly element to it. So I'm not just copying my photographs.
The laminated wood panel allows her to use a variety of paints and pastels to create her picturesque Whistler landscape. The high school art teacher has been creating since she was a child, but it was during her maternity leave a few years ago that Dennison's style and final products began to evolve.
Not everybody's in the market to buy an original piece of artwork, and so I thought, how can I bring the price point down and create this more of an everyday purchase for people?
Determined to make her work more accessible, she discovered a company that could transform her magnificent pieces into wearable art, such as delicate scarves, functional hats, and now funky leggings.
Some of my pieces have been more abstract, the finished product, but generally I like people to be able to see what it was, before it was printed on the fabric.
Dennison takes a photograph of her paintings, creating a digital tile. An eye for beauty and style, she then works diligently to manipulate a pattern that will repeat onto the fabric.
So I'm just sort of playing with composition, really, and also thinking of scale. So do I want the print to be super tiny? If it's being printed onto a band that's going to go onto a hat, it needs to be a very small design. Or if it's a print on a legging, it can be much bigger.
Once satisfied with the image, the printing is done in Montreal and the sewing in Vancouver, keeping as much of the assembly process close to home and 100% Canadian.
Several of the natural fabrics are woven in Montreal, so that's really important to me, that I either source Canadian woven fabrics, or if the fabric is from overseas, that it's a bamboo or organic cotton or hemp.
The leggings are the newest addition to the Heidi the Artist collection. Inspired by her casual Whistler lifestyle, she wanted something that was functional yet fashionable.
I find it so exciting if somebody sees a piece of mine and they actually connect to it and want to wear that. And I'm just happy that it doesn't have to just be on a wall.
From the first to the final stage, this designer is hands-on through every step of the apparel process. Answering online orders from around the world, she then packages and ships every item herself.
I want it to have that handmade feel to it, that touch, so somebody knows that they purchased something from me that I made, and designed in my studio.
While some pieces are hand-painted, others are created straight from her photographs, but all were designed with the inspiration to make women wearing them feel fabulous.
I want them to feel fresh. I want them to feel funky. I want them to feel like themselves, so they can, style my pieces in a way that works with their wardrobe. And yeah, I just want them to feel like they're wearing something unique and special.
If you'd like to strut your stuff in Heidi's one-of-a-kind leggings, you can find her at the Whistler Farmers Market this summer or online at HeidiTheArtist.ca. Now, Heidi finds much of her inspiration in the mountains which surround her, and in Whistler there's no shortage of ways to explore them. You can hike up them or bike down them, or if you're up for it, why not tour the mountains on a zip line? I did that adventure this fall. Have a look. There's no shortage of guides in Whistler. Every sport adventure company has them, but every guide is as unique as their career.
At the end of the day, I want people to be able to go home and just say, wow, and tell people that they had an amazing time. I want it to be a memorable experience for them. That's actually one reason I got into the guiding. Everything up here is built right into the tree, so we're going to take you guys around, show you a little bit of the course.
Kathy Carlacera can't get enough of guiding. She's been leading tours with Zip Trek in Whistler for 3.5 years. Her bubbly personality and sense of adventure are the perfect combination for a guide, especially when your tour involves a harness and a helmet.
Who doesn't want a zip line to work every day? It's a pretty sweet office. It's a really calming experience when you go out. You're just out in the forest, a 10,000-year-old rainforest.
Leading our group through catwalks and suspension bridges, Carlacera is doing what any guide does best, calming her guests before the adventure begins. Wildlife and environment are a large part of this unique valley tour, and most of the course can be viewed and explained before you begin to fly.
If you look right up through the trees there, see those lines up in the sky? That's your last one. That's our newest line. That's what you'll be doing today.
Making your guest feel comfortable is all part of helping them enjoy the thrilling experience. With a few clicks, we're ready to tackle our first line. Woo-hoo! Gliding over Fitzsimmons Creek, ziplining is an experience unlike anything else. The wind rushing by you, the creek below, and picturesque views all around. It's an adrenaline rush, all while exploring the sights and sounds of the mountains.
It's not just the adrenaline junkies. You get small kids, 6 years old, up to 98-year-olds. So we take a wide variety of people.
Smaller zip lines complete, our group treks upwards to the new line installed this summer. Their longest one yet, and the reaction says it all.
Holy! Wow! So yeah, it's a big one, 2,400 feet. It's also a tandem line, so sometimes we can actually get 2 people going down at once, and we do a descent of 30 stories, so it's a big step off for a lot of people.
Are you ready?
As ready as I'm going to be. The view is worth it. The view is worth the nerves that I have in my stomach. There was a slight hesitation before leaving the gated platform, but with a little convincing at the bottom, I was off. This is going to be really fun! Woo! Soaring from Whistler to Blackcomb Mountain, it's a view right out of a brochure. Don't close your eyes. This is something you won't want to miss. It's all possible thanks to your guide, who will be ready and waiting when you reach the other side. A huge thank you to Zip Trek and Kathy Carlacera for making me feel comfortable and relaxed so that I could enjoy my adventure. Well, if you'd like to see this story again, or perhaps one of our full shows that you may have missed, everything is available for you online in HD. Just visit youtube.com/Whistler Shaw. Go see the sky, we're your local voice. Coming up,
This is a cleansinator. You're getting a mass amount of nutrients and minerals and vitamins in one condensed strength.
enjoying your fruits and vegetables in juice form.
The following are proud supporters of community programming on Shaw TV.
Hairstyling and color services for Heather Butts are provided by The Loft Salon. TheLoftSalon.com.
1 in 3 Canadians know someone with Alzheimer's disease or another dementia. I'm one of those Canadians. September is World Alzheimer's Month, and the Alzheimer's Society of BC wants you to get involved. Use your creative ideas, your outstanding talents, and your sizzling passions. We make it easy to create a unique fundraising event or join in someone else's. Do anything for Alzheimer's and help support people with dementia, their caregivers, and research for a cure. Let's get started at anythingforalzheimers.ca today.
When he was only 16, Richard Pierpoint was enslaved in Senegal and taken to America.
All us men have sworn on this petition to fight.
You're an old man. The British Army has militias and trained soldiers.
I fought with the British during the American Revolution.
Take your land and farm it. Leave the Americans to us.
With respect, sir. I was born a free man, and I intend to die one. Your officers fight for land and money. I fight for my freedom.
Richard Pierpoint was one of thousands of black loyalists who won their freedom in the American Revolution. 30 years later, at the age of 68, he petitioned for an all-black unit that would defend Upper Canada during the War of 1812.
Welcome back to the show. You're watching Go See the Sky only on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Heather Butts, hanging out in downtown Pemberton, where a traditional barn raising is taking place. Hundreds have rallied here to make this project happen, and we'll tell you all about it later in the show. First, we're going to introduce you to a different type of team. Ariosa is a group of artists that combine dance and rock climbing. You may have seen them performing on the side of the Squamish Chief. They're all about creating art and dance in unexpected places, and our Jen Moranitz met up with them in one of those non-traditional places.
Suspended by bungee cables, they glide through the air with no inhibitions.
It really inspires people because I think deep down everybody wants to fly.
These aerial dancers are as close as it gets to flying.
It's this whole idea of turning gravity sideways.
This is Ariosa, a group that marries contemporary dance with rock climbing. Formed in 2001, these performers are all about creating dance in unexpected places.
Which means that we dance on the sides of buildings, we dance in public atriums like this, we dance on cliffs.
Here's Ariosa performing on the face of the Squamish Chief. It's one of the most memorable experiences for dancer Kara Sue.
That whole experience brought us together as a team like never before, and it was a great experience to be outside in nature.
Kara has been dancing since she was 6 and rock climbing shortly after. Ariosa gives her the chance to use both skill sets.
I've been able to take my dance and feed it into my rock climbing, and vice versa, the rock climbing into the dance.
Even though the dancers are in full costume performing in front of an audience, what you're actually seeing right now is a rehearsal. And over the next couple of hours, the dancers are going to be tweaking their performance before they perform it right here at Woodward's Atrium.
The pathways and everything is pretty clear. Like, you guys are remembering most of it?
Yes. Pretty much all of our rehearsals are open rehearsals.
It's great. I mean, it's like you get instant feedback.
Is it going to be higher?
These open rehearsals inspired the piece they're working on today called Refugia.
Refugia is based a little bit about what it is to be dancing in a private space, but that's very public.
The idea came from taking refuge in public spaces, which is what we do a lot as an aerial dance company.
And it doesn't get much more public than dancing on the side of a building.
So one of our favorite places to dance is the Vancouver Public Library. We've danced many of the buildings downtown. This is our new favourite place, it seems, the Woodward's Atrium.
And this summer, they're taking their performances into the trees, with performances lined up at UBC Botanical Gardens and in Stanley Park. At Woodward's Atrium on West Hastings, I'm Jen Moranitz for Go Vancouver.
The group will be performing at the UBC Botanical Gardens on June 21st, and you can visit ariosa.com for more details. Well, dance takes a lot of athleticism. Those performers need to be strong and healthy, and so do you. You need to ensure that you're getting your daily dosage of fruits and vegetables. So why not try juicing? We headed to Needle Lake Lodge for this week's DIY to find that perfect combination of fruits and vegetables for your healthy choice. And here we are starting off our morning the right way at beautiful Needle Lake Lodge at the Fix Cafe. And Marina, you are a certified raw food chef and nutritionist.
Correct.
And you are teaching us how to start our morning with a cleanse.
Yes, this is a cleansinator. Best way to start your morning.
And now it is a juice, and a lot of people are getting into juicing these days, but how do you know what to put in your juice?
Well, pretty much there's lots of different recipes. You can follow, recipes to see what suits you and what ingredients that you prefer to have. There's so many different options. For the cleansinator, we like to put in some dino kale and some celery and cucumber, some lemon, top it off with some ginger and some apple if you want something a little sweeter. Pineapple works really nice in this drink as well.
Okay, so the kale, the celery, cucumber, what's that doing for your body? I mean, that's a lot of vegetables in the morning.
Well, that's the point of juicing, is that you're getting a mass amount of nutrients and minerals and vitamins in one condensed drink. So it's a good way to start the morning. It's all cleansing. It's very hydrating. Over the night we tend to dehydrate, so in the morning you want to clean everything out. The lemon is very good for alkalinizing the body. All of these are alkalinizing foods, and the ginger is nice for metabolism, kind of kick it up. And if you really want to kick up your metabolism, and you're brave enough, you can add a little bit of cayenne in there.
Okay.
That gets things going. Yeah.
So now when you're putting this all through the juicer, this is quite the hefty machine you have, but people at home can get a basic machine, or you could do it in a basic blender.
Absolutely. I mean, the juicer we have is a commercial juicer, so you're not going to want to put that in your house, but there's lots of juicers on the market. You can get, I would highly recommend a slow logger. It's like extracts the juices more slow without heating the juice up. If you really want to invest, a Norwalk would be the best way, which is pressing the juice, but that's really taking it to the next kind of level. Okay. But if you don't have a juicer and don't want to invest in one right now, you could put everything in a blender, which would have the fiber of the fruit, which is also, it turns more into a smoothie rather than a juice.
So it's a little thicker.
Which is fine. You can add all sorts of things, coconut oil and milk. You can add spirulina for an extra shot of nutrition that has all your essential amino acids. There's lots of things you can do to play around, but if you're going to blend, you'll definitely get the fiber that way, and which slows the sugars from being absorbed into your body a little bit more.
So find a combination that works for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically. Or come join us. We make a bunch of different combinations here at the Fix Cafe. And
perfect. And here we have it. This is our cleansinator.
This is the cleansinator, which I am going to make you drink, because it is early in the morning. You have to try.
We've got kale, celery.
You have kale, celery, cucumber, lemon, ginger, and apple. I put a little bit extra apple just to sweeten it up a little bit for you, because people who are first starting to juice, it's a bit much sometimes to jump straight into all vegetables.
That is perfect. Yes. That is the way that I want to start my morning.
Good.
Thanks for showing me how.
You're welcome.
Well, it doesn't have a fancy name, but it is quite tasty. So swing by Needle Lake Lodge to try one, or of course, make one for yourself at home. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Go Sea to Sky. We would love to hear from you. Perhaps you have a story to tell us about, or maybe an event we could help you promote. Just visit us at facebook.com/Go Sea to Sky. Later in the show,
it's going to be something the town can be proud of, and it's certainly going to be something that daily we'll be able to see and appreciate.
A community rallies for a traditional barn raising in Pemberton.
The following are proud supporters of community programming on Shaw TV.
Heather Butt's wardrobe is fitted by Peak Performance. PeakPerformance.com.
Whether you're pursuing a television career or looking for a new leisure activity, we invite you to join the Shaw TV Volunteer Program. You can gain valuable hands-on experience and acquire skills ranging from camera to floor directing. We're looking for high school or college students or adults who are eager to learn. Shaw TV is currently accepting volunteer applications. Contact us today.
We're there to bring it home. Shaw TV, your local voice. Join, book, go with Moto, Vancouver's only local car sharing co-op. What's car sharing? It's thousands of people sharing the cost and access to hundreds of cars. Car sharing offers a reliable alternative to car ownership, fits your lifestyle, and saves you money. With 300 cars, trucks, and even cargo vans, Moto offers the lowest rates in Metro Vancouver. And booking a Moto is easy, online or by phone. Join, book, go. Learn more at moto.coop.
Welcome back to Go See the Sky, only on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Heather Butts, hanging out at a traditional barn raising in Pemberton Village. Hundreds have rallied here to make this community project happen, and it is quite a sight. We'll have all the details for you coming up, but first it's time for this week's edition of Go Listen. Paul McClellan got to hear the tropical sounds of Bestie. Their debut single, Pineapple, has been a hit on Vancouver airwaves, and they're just about to wrap up their national tour.
Kelly, why did you run, girl? Where did you run with my heart?
I guess we're like an indie pop with a lot of tropical flavor and a lot of influences that, you know, allows us to gather them and make one sound that is simple and accessible and happy for everybody.
I think this is like one of the first times we played acoustically like this. We're very guitar-driven sound and much more louder dance party, so it was really weird and fun kind of adjusting it to an acoustic setting.
You never come, Kelly Kapowski, where are you, girl?
After taking over Vancouver radio airwaves in 2013, East Van's Bestie have released their debut record, No Bad Days.
We've been playing these songs for a while, and we finally got to properly record them with our producer Howard Redekop and Diggory Smalls, who we worked with on Pineapple and Asleep on the Bus. It feels great to finally have an album out as a band that only had 2 singles out previously, so we're really excited.
Super fun video for Pineapple. That's the big single that people have probably heard from you guys around Vancouver for quite a while now. What went into that video? It looks like you had a good time.
That video, our bass player Rob was about to go away to Berlin for a month, and we had literally one day of time to kind of shoot everyone together as much as possible and record the song. And so we just grabbed everyone, we're like, let's go, let's do it, and let's shoot right here by like Budgie's Burritos, let's shoot over here, just like our favorite spots around our neighborhood, and just captured everything in like a few takes.
So the track you guys played for us today, Kelly Kapowski. Are you guys big Saved by the Bell fans? Do I even need to ask?
I think I grew up with a lot of Saved by the Bell, and I really like Saved by the Bell. Really good teen drama. So yeah, little tribute.
Kelly Kapowski, where are you, girl? It's so amazing.
You guys are known for being like just a good time band. Is it as much of a good time for you guys as it is for the people that take in your show?
Yes, I think yeah, even more so for us. It's like this is like a dream to do this and to be able to play music and to be able to play music for people. So it's the greatest thing in the world that I can imagine doing.
We're just gonna keep on plugging away. Also, we have a couple of videos coming out soon that I think people are gonna like them, because so far what I've seen, I think they're really cool.
Those new music videos are being released over the summer. Watch for updates and hear their music at bbestie.com. At Fortune Sound Club, I'm Paul McClellan for Shaw TV.
Kelly Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell. Who would have thought she'd have a song written about her? All right, we've held off long enough. It's time for a story we've been telling you about through the entire show. After several years of planning and fundraising, hundreds have rallied here in the village of Pemberton for a traditional barn raising. The timber frame structure will host community events, barn dances, and of course, farmers markets. But this build wouldn't be possible without the help of volunteers. Right from the very beginning, this project has been nothing but anticipation and excitement.
What we've got is going to be something that's going to outlive me, that's for sure. But it's going to be something the town can be proud of. I think it'll bring economy to the community, and it's certainly going to be something that daily we'll be able to see and appreciate.
After years of planning and fundraising, Pemberton's downtown finally has a new addition. The community barn will act as a gateway into the village and provide a much-needed home for farmers markets and festivals. The construction of the building was an event in itself, drawing more than 50 members of the Timber Framers Guild from across North America, all who volunteered their time.
The enjoyment that we get out of it is the educational experience. We're all learning a whole pile of stuff, even those of us that have been around it a long time. And there's also a real huge element of camaraderie.
Timber framers spent several days fabricating pieces on the ground, working with wood from Douglas fir trees from lower BC. The larger logs came from just up the valley in Mount Currie. Both the resources and design match perfectly with the area's rich logging and agricultural roots.
This is contemporary heavy timber construction. So there is some wood-to-wood joinery, which is very old-fashioned and very traditional. But also buried in this structure is a whole lot of steel and a whole lot of modern specialty wood structural screws, and it's sitting on a foundation that's very, very stout.
This may appear as a modern-day construction site, but in reality, the process is before our time.
It's totally unique. It's being put together by 60 volunteers from out of town and 100 people from the community helping do it. It's an unheard of way of building things these days.
Community members and businesses spent hundreds of hours housing and feeding crew members, and the volunteers, some drove from as far as Virginia simply to be part of this remarkable community build.
It's got hundreds and hundreds of parts. It's just got a symphony of its own. We sometimes say these are three-dimensional puzzles.
A large donation from the Whistler Blackcomb Foundation got this project off the ground, but there's still more fundraising to be done. Not a problem. For people in this village, you can't put a price on community.
Incredible. It's hard to pick words for it. What it's going to do for our community and the excitement that it's brought to the town has just been incredible.
It certainly is a sight to see, and the finishing touches are still being placed on the structure. You should come check it out for yourself. It's in the heart of Pemberton. You can't miss it. Well, that does it for this episode of Go Sea to Sky. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.
Whether you're pursuing a television career or looking for a new leisure activity, we invite you to join the Shaw TV Volunteer Program. You can gain valuable hands-on experience and acquire skills ranging from camera to floor directing. We're looking for high school or college students or adults who are eager to learn. Shaw TV is currently accepting volunteer applications. Contact us today.
We're there to bring it home. Shaw TV, your local voice.